Federal Parliament is set to return before Australia Day, where it would debate new laws in response to the Bondi massacre. Let's bring in political correspondent Cameron Reddin. Cam, what are you hearing about when the Parliament could be brought back?
The Prime Minister, Trudy, is determined to have Parliament sit before Australia Day. That week would be a bit complicated with the public holidays. So the date that is my understanding is the working date at the moment would be a return on January 19. So that's 2 weeks from today. It would not be a fully fledged sitting period. For example, it's not going to be 2 weeks. There may or may not be question time as well. The primary focus would be for the government to pass its laws around gun reform, setting up the gun buyback, also the tougher hate speech laws, and strengthening visa powers for the Home Affairs Minister to either reject or cancel visas for those who might spread hatred in Australia. This is not a firm date, but it is the one that's being discussed at senior levels across the opposition and the government. In terms of what that law might look like and what exactly might be passed when it does return, public servants have been working through the Christmas New Year period to have the laws drafted ready for a vote in early 2026. The opposition hasn't yet, though, been briefed on those. At least the Shadow Home Affairs Minister, John O'Daniam, tells Sky News he hasn't received the fine print. So the coalition not firmly backing these laws out of the gate. They say they want to see the detail, and also arguing that Parliament could have been recalled, in their view, at the end of last year.
Is the opposition in a position to come back and support those proposals that have been put forward? It does include that national gun buyback as well.
We would have been there before Christmas. We made it very clear when Chris Minns could bring Parliament back early to move legislation around hate and gun laws that we didn't support, but he at least had the courage to bring his Parliament back and show leadership and action. We were ready to get on a plane then, and I think this Prime Minister has run away from it.
On the issue of a royal commission into anti-Semitism, the coalition is looking at ways to make an issue of this when Parliament does return, potentially trying to force Labor to vote against it on the floor of the House. Their political and parliamentary options are limited. We can show you the makeup of the Senate at the moment. Of course, Labor with an overwhelming majority in the House of Representatives. And you can see here that with 39 votes needed, Labor plus the Greens gets that over the line. So even if the coalition had the support of the entire crossbench, without the Green support in the Senate, they would not be able to win any votes, even if they were to, say, put up a motion backing a federal royal commission, the support for which is continuing to grow by the day. A number of independent MPs coming out publicly today supporting the push for a federal royal commission, which has the backing of many Jewish leaders and families of victims, business, sport, community groups, all backing this push. The government, though, standing by its decision not to hold one at a federal level, instead saying they'll assist the New South Wales Royal Commission and push ahead with a snap inquiry into the intelligence agencies instead.
Calls for a Commonwealth Royal Commission come from a really good place. I think from my perspective, you want answers quickly. I know that's what I would want, and that's why that Richardson review has been announced. But the New South Wales Royal Commission should, investigate a whole range of things, and we've said we will cooperate fully with that.
So options there for the government, Trudy. January 19 seeming to be the firm date for returning of Parliament. Of course, it's January 14 next week would be 1 month since then, but there was a view that that might be too soon with people still coming back from leave. So January 19, the working date, but that could yet change.
We'll see where this lands. Cameron Reddin, thank you.